Hi, I'm Dan from Phantasia Sports, and this is 26 Questions with Dan.
Before we jump into today's episode, I would like to remind you that there are 20% off waiting for you down in the description box. All you need to do is click that link and sign up with MEXC.com to get 20% off your trading fees. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button. Hey Dan, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing really well. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for coming over. Yeah, so Phantasia, the future of fantasy sports. Just checked out your website recently. I'm going to share the screen so that our viewers can see what I'm talking about here. There we go. Yeah, so cool, slick design. Love it. So also logged in here, there's a section where you can log in with the wallet or phone number. I didn't have a wallet handy, so I just used the phone number and I logged in. And as a result, here's what I see. And I was wondering maybe if you could help me a little bit and just, walk me through on the features you have here so we can better understand what the game is about.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for logging in with the Magic Wallet. That's awesome that you didn't have a Phantom wallet handy. So it shows that any user really without a wallet can onboard onto our website really easily. And that's our goal of Phantasia, is to be as frictionless as possible so we can onboard normal users as well and really hit that scale. So what you have here once you log in is the dashboard. With the dashboard, you can see upcoming contests. Right now it's showing NBA games because we are in the thick of the NBA season. And then you can see open contests. So if you go and click on that open contest, it'll show you how many users are currently signed up. There's 171 out of 600 spots available. It's an in the money contest, which means that the top X percentile wins a prize. These are all free to enter contests, and you win our native token FANT from participating. So go ahead and hit enter contest. So the goal of these fantasy sports contests is to pick the best roster with the defined budget. So there's a $50,000 budget, and that's just, in-game money. So this isn't actual your currency out of your pocket. And each player has an allocated salary. So for example, LeBron James, he does very well. You can see that he's at the top of the leaderboards for salary. So you can't pick, the best 5 athletes in the NBA because everyone would pick that. So you have to pick and make sure that you're within your budget. So we can just go through a quick example. As we won't fill out the whole team, but the goal is to pick players, do research, and make sure that your budget's optimized. You can go ahead and click on any of these players.
Okay.
Click on their name, and it shows you some analysis. So the projected stats, who they are, who they're playing, how many fantasy points they've earned in the past. So this is where the users would go ahead and do some analysis to see if their players worth bringing onto their team. The goal is acting as the manager, essentially, and competing against everyone else to see who will do the best when that game actually happens in real live time.
Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. And so if I were to add, a team here, I would just add the plus sign here?
Yeah, plus button there. And it shows you, so that player is out actually, but just for example purposes, you can add them. You see that this is one of the more expensive players. Your budget went down to 39,800, and the average remaining per player is 5,600. So you can't keep purchasing the $10,000 players anymore.
I see. Okay, so I have to go and pick something lower in the budget, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sorted by all of them, but you can sort by different positions. You just pick another shooting guard. There's filters for every different position, so you still need a point guard, shooting forward.
Cool. And I would need to fill all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, to have a complete team.
Yeah, there's actually 8 spots in this one. So there's 6 more spots remaining. So just so you can just click through them pretty easily and click a couple. Go ahead and go back to power forward. You already chose 2 centers.
Okay, I got it. So I have 2 centers. Now I have to choose, for example, someone from here. Yeah, okay.
You can go to point guard.
Point guard. Okay, hold on. There we go. Yeah, I'm not really well-versed in basketball, sorry.
You have 1 more spot open, so you can choose any guard. So go ahead, you can click any of these guys.
Okay, any of these guys. Okay, cool.
Now you can finalize your roster.
Right.
You can enter a team name, or you can use your username as your team name, either one. Okay, go ahead and hit join. The transactional pending, and you can see the transaction successful. Go ahead and close it, and then now you're in the contest. So you can go ahead and hit view, and you can see different people you're playing against. score is 0 because the game hasn't started yet.
Right.
How on the leaderboard section, people have different fan cards. So that's why they have their profile pictures. They're showing off their Fanbots and other items they've earned in game.
So these are actually their avatars, right? The Fanbots are the avatars for each profile. They're not actually the characters that are playing, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. So the game would start, there was a time ticker, right?
Yeah, so the first game starts, it looks like your local time, Friday, 2 a.m. You can see how these are all the actual sporting events that are happening. So we're the match pool. So once the first game, it says up top, contest starts at 2 a.m. on February 4th, your local time.
Okay, got it. And so then, and for how long does it last? Like a typical basketball game?
It goes until all the games are ended. So you're able to choose those players from all the teams that are within the contest. So you see how that match pool has multiple games?
Yeah.
It's until all those games are finished, and you can select players from any of those teams. That's what you were doing on the other screen.
Okay. And then we will know the results, right?
Yep, exactly. The results will get updated in real time as you're watching. So the ideal scenario is like you're on the couch watching your favorite team play, you players from all these different teams. You're watching them score points, and in real time, you're seeing your dashboard update. And these players are scoring more points. You're seeing where you are in the leaderboard. Maybe we have a chat option there, so maybe talking to people in the chat, how they're doing. So it's really an interactive game. And most people watch the sports simultaneously as like paying attention to their team to see how they're doing and see if they're going to get any of the top prizes. Yeah,
awesome. That's a great overview. And if anyone's watching who's interested in trying this out, guys, I encourage you to try it out as well, just like I did. Yeah, and it sounds pretty nice. I like it so far. Now, we have questions from the community that they would like to ask you to learn more about the project. So if you're ready, I can just go ahead and ask you one by one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome, great. So the first question that they have is, the Fanbots remind me of Sega Genesis Mutant League Football. What was your inspiration for your Fanbots?
So there wasn't a single point of inspiration. We worked with our artists to achieve our goal that, as you saw, the Fanbots are shown off in the fan card. We wanted them to have their own artistic style and also have this athletic wear. And from there, we let our artist take over, and he did multiple different draft versions of it. When he showed us the robot theme, we just instantly fell in love and went down that path.
Cool. I actually wanted to do one more quick screen share here to show Magic Eden. That's what I managed to click. We have this collection of Fanbots, and I think they're pretty cool. Very stylish. Some of them have the football helmets and some of them don't, just like masks or something, or goggles here. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. Okay, great. Question number 2. Does Phantasia have a strong team to achieve your ambition and vision? How well experienced are your team?
Yeah, so I'm a little biased for that question because obviously I believe we have a strong team. And not only do we have a strong team, we already have a strong live product on mainnet. We just walked through that. So instead of talking about our backgrounds and all that, we have a team of professional software engineers, strategy consultants, and et cetera that worked in high-end functions. But instead of talking about our backgrounds, really what you should check out is our website and our fully functional application. We're adding new features all the time. You can use our application for multiple different sports, and we're only adding features every day.
Nice. Question number 3, how does the Phantasia app work? Well, actually, that was a brief overview of the game, but I think there's no mobile version available yet, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We're actually launching a mobile version soon. We saw some wallets launch on Solana natively, and we're integrating with those. So that's coming out pretty soon here.
Right. Okay. Question number 4, why did Phantasia choose to build on the Solana blockchain? What are the benefits?
Yeah, so Solana is the fastest blockchain in our opinion, and also one of the cheapest at scale. That's a great reason to build on it. As you saw, that Mark was able to enter a contest almost instantaneously, and also his account that he created, he actually didn't deposit any SOL. So Phantasia seeded that account with a very, very minimal fee, and users like Mark, who didn't have a wallet already, could enter that contest. So those are just some benefits of Solana on top of the big ecosystem that's built. So things like wallets, governance, other metaverse products that we can partner with are all other reasons that we chose to build on Solana.
Yeah, it was actually very easy. I just used the confirmation code from the text message that I received on my phone, and I really like that. Instead of going to Chrome Web Store, downloading and writing down the secret phrase and all that. So it's just going to be too long, and probably you get disencouraged or distracted at some point and just, I'm going to do this later. But that was a cool solution. Okay, great. Question number 5. What milestones have Phantasia Sports achieved recently?
Yeah, definitely. So we launched on mainnet over at November from the Solana Breakpoint conference. And from there, we've been adding a lot more sports. We added the NBA and also EPL recently. We also built an NFT store within our platform that uses our native token FANT, which is live. And we had the IDO with that. We've also been adding more different features, analytics tool for the Fanbots, added in-game chat, and now we're optimizing to have our mobile application live. We also do have our DAO live and operating. So the Phantasia DAO, we have multiple proposals, and yeah, we're working to add more sports, more functionalities, and the mobile app as well.
Very nice. Okay, moving on. Question number 6. Will there be plans to add more utility to Fanbots apart from Fanbots gated contests? Will it be used in DAO too, like a certain rare Fanbot to be considered a certain amount of votes? Is it possible to let the rarity affect how the algorithm tools work for an individual? A lot of questions here, so feel free to answer like how you deem necessary.
Definitely. So there will be more utility for the Fanbots, and that's kind of open to the community in terms of what that will be. There's currently already in-game utility, as the user mentioned asking the question. There's already gated contests. We have analytics tool to help pick your roster. One-click automatic roster fill out. So if you're filling out a bunch of rosters and maybe don't know NBA or NFL or any sport, you can just click that. The algorithm makes it for you. In terms of Fanbot DAO, essentially, haven't thought about that, and the community can vote on that through the Phantasia Sports DAO that's launched by our governance token. And the same with rarity, that can be proposed by the Phantasia Sports DAO. If there needs to be a sub DAO or some type of rarity algorithm calculated for the Fanbots, that can also be added by the Phantasia Sports DAO.
Nice. Okay, question number 7. Any plan to create a 3D avatar of Fanbots for its own game or to integrate with various metaverses out there? Actually, that was exactly what I was thinking. Like it was a 3D version of the Fanbot running around and you can do cool stuff with it, like use weapons or maybe, you know, kind of like that.
Yeah, we definitely don't plan on building our own games because we have Phantasia Sports, and there's a lot that we can do within the fantasy sports realm. Huge market, multi-billion dollar market worldwide is fantasy sports. So we're going to really focus on that. But in regards to Fanbots, we are going to be integrating with different metaverse companies and projects. So we actually have a partnership with Suites, which is one of the first sports metaverses on Solana, where you can come hang out and actually watch sports in that metaverse. So Fanbots have their own suite. We have a custom suite that was made by the team, and we'll be able to be integrated with our platform to actually join contests from that metaverse. That's the end goal.
Okay. I would like to know if there will be a second batch of Fanbots.
Yeah, definitely. So we've thought about it as for a future second batch of Fanbots, since we have the season 1 right now. There's no confirmed dates or confirmation that there will be a season 2 as of right now, but that possibility is definitely open.
Okay. Question number 9. Do you plan on having the old school fantasy format of NFL, NBA, MLB, EPL player drafts before each season starts so that friends can have their own fantasy leagues?
Yeah, so currently we're mainnet beta, and only people that are part of the DAO and have been selected to create contests can create contests just to filter out spam. But in the near future, anyone can create a contest. And I think the user's asking the question of, will there be season-long leagues? Because currently the game that you sign up for, Mark, it's that daily contest. You chose only players from that match day. The contest starts, I think it started tonight and it ends, when all those games end, which is also tonight. There is also another type of fantasy sports style where you can play for a whole season. Yes, we'll be adding those contests or types of contests for the further out seasons in 2022.
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, question number 10. You have mentioned incorporating cricket competitions, like to know when, and are you thinking of any other sports?
Yeah, definitely. Cricket is a huge potential market. It's an emerging market for fantasy sports and just the sports world generally. India is also just onboarding really quickly to Web3, so there's a lot of synergies there. Cricket is on our roadmap, and a lot of users have requested that. Aside from cricket, big opportunity in fantasy sports, and also a combination of fantasy sports and crypto is esports. So getting into that realm is something that we're also looking into doing, and a lot of our users have been asking about that as well.
I'm a huge tennis fan. Any plans for tennis?
Potentially. That's not been explored too much in the fantasy sports world, but there's always those niche sports people ask for. So if enough tennis lovers join Phantasia and ask for it, then we can probably add it.
Okay, can you explain more about the In the Money contests?
Yeah, definitely. So the current contest types that we have on our website are the traditional winner takes all. So that's whoever's at the top of the leaderboard and scores the most points. And in a contest that, we've had contests go over 1,000 users, it's a really, really small chance of winning. So that's the winner takes all. There's also 50-50. So your goal is to get in the top 50th percentile, and anyone in the top 50th percentile splits the whole pot. So that ends up being a lot of winners, but the prize is very small, right? Since you're sharing with such a large number of people. In the money contest means there is a subset of users who win. So maybe top 4 win, and it is scaled in a tier style. So the first place would get the most, second place gets second most, third place gets third most of the prize, and etc. So it's this balance between winners takes all and also 50-50, where there can be a reward more than one person, It's not all 50 percentile, and it's also tiered in structure. Depending on how well you do, the more you're rewarded.
Makes sense. Okay. What are the exclusive features of FANT holders?
Yeah, definitely. So currently right now, FANT is a governance and utility token. So DAO voting participation in the DAO, access to the Phantasia shop to purchase NFTs plus vanity items. So the ones that you saw, like Fanbots, are listed on Magic Eden. You can buy those actually in our unique shop as well. But on top of that, we released multiple vanity items. So you saw when you're going through the fan card builder on the leaderboard, some people had like different items on their fan card. Some people had those backgrounds representing their countries. FANT can be used to also buy that. We're going to be adding paid entry contests in the near future for respective jurisdictions that are allowed to participate in it. So FANT will be an entry fee into those contests as well. And we're going to be adding some staking mechanisms and other things shortly, given the DAO proposals and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be more added utility as time goes on as well.
Great. I came across Fanbot Builder on your website. Could you please explain more and what makes it unique?
Yeah, so the Fanbot Builder was actually created as a gap that we saw in the ecosystem when NFT projects launched. A lot of NFT projects have, their Twitter, all this stuff up, and maybe a couple pictures of their actual NFT artwork. What we created is a builder which you can utilize all of our attributes to build a Fanbot. It might not be the Fanbot that you end up getting, but at least it visualizes what types of possibilities are out there. So this is also, it can be used for when you're shopping around on your Fanbot. You can customize on the builder and then go look for it in the marketplace.
Okay. Are you seeking any collaborations with real life athletes or sports teams?
Oh yeah, definitely. We are in talks with multiple athletes and also organizations, none that are publicly announced, as those deals take longer to broker because they're professional athletes, so they're very busy as well. But we are looking for synergies with partnerships with athletes and other representatives in the entertainment world.
I read that in Phantasia Sports, one of the biggest benefits is the fact that it rewards the holder. That's really a good thing, but through what mechanism will you manage to do this?
Yeah, so the free to enter contest that you saw is actually generating FANT rewards. So that is an amount granted by the DAO for an admission cycle. And these rewards are generated by fees from the shop. So that shop that we have, any NFT royalties, it goes into that. And it's a feedback mechanism back into rewarding our users. So this free to play style is one of the styles that we have. We're also going to be adding paid to enter contests, which will be taking some platform fees as well and feeding it back into that admission cycle. So this play to earn style is really considered as our marketing budget. Get people on. It's free to enter. They can get some rewards. It's essentially a promotion as other fantasy traditional sites have it.
Okay. So question number 17, what is the future of online sports betting? How do you see Phantasia compete with traditional platforms like DraftKings and FanDuel?
Definitely. So we are actually not sports betting. Fantasy sports is a different segment of this competition in gaming. But how we see fantasy sports is really a peer-to-peer system. The other competitors aren't peer-to-peer. You're really playing against the house, which can be considered as like anyone holding competitions. They create the contest. It's all their algorithms are on the back end. No one really knows what's going on. Phantasia is just an interface and a protocol that lets users enter these fantasy sports contests in a completely peer-to-peer manner. So you're playing against other users and not a company.
That makes sense. Thanks for explaining that. Will it be possible to see the latest sales and the built-in market on Phantasia's site?
Yeah, definitely. So we recently launched our shop, as I mentioned, and it's still getting new features are being added to that daily. And that feature of later sales will definitely be added as well.
I've seen the recent changes to the site whereby email and phone signup is enabled. Are there other ways Phantasia is looking to ease onboarding for first-time non-crypto and Web2 users?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we went through that pretty deeply with our demo. So that's awesome that Mark did it as well. One thing that I wanted to mention is that given Solana's really cheap transaction fees, users don't even have to on-ramp any Solana for their first time. We were actually able to seed the account. So what that means is when you create that account with your email or phone number, you get a little bit of SOL. It's like a penny, which is very affordable for the protocol to give up, but also lets users join up to 20 contests without having to do anything on their end and getting stuff into their wallet. So that's really good for Web2 and non-crypto users. On top of that, we do plan on adding fiat on-ramp so users can use their credit card, debit card to on-ramp currency like SOL or FANT into their wallet and use it for entering pay-to-enter contests or buying Fanbots on the shop.
Yeah, very smooth onboarding, I must say. Probably the smoothest I've heard so far. What's the future for Phantasia from here onwards?
Yeah, short answer is build. That's what we're doing every day. So we're going to be releasing a mobile app really shortly here in the coming months, offering paid to enter contests in select jurisdictions where it's available. From there, we'll be adding more different game types, sports, and different NFT storefront.
Yeah, great. That wraps it up for the 20 questions from the community. I don't know, how do you like the questions, Dan, in general?
Yeah, no, they're super interactive. Obviously, a lot of users have used our protocol, got into the site, played around with it, and really thought about the future of Phantasia, especially the ones that I particularly like are, we've been able to penetrate the market for like crypto native people. We have about 5,000 to 6,000 users weekly and scaling every week. The real adoption will be when we get those Web2 users on and people are thinking about how we can do that, what features how to make frictionless onboarding. So I really like those types of questions. I'm happy the audience is engaged.
Yeah, me too. Actually, they were very specific, guys. Great job on doing your research and, expressing your interest in the Phantasia project. And so if you saw one of your questions that I was asking Dan on the screen, that means you are one of the lucky winners and you can claim your reward by following the instructions down in the description box. Now, Dan, it is your turn to ask the community 6 questions so they can earn additional rewards.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to do that. Cool. So the first question is, do I need an NFT to use your platform? Second one, what are the Fanbots? The third one is, what sports are available for fantasy contests currently? What is different for Phantasia Sports than traditional Web2 fantasy sports? Why, in your own words, do you think Solana is a benefit for Phantasia? The last question is, what is a Phantasia Sports DAO?
Thank you. So that wraps it up for today. Guys, if you feel like earning additional rewards, make sure to comment down below and we will select the lucky winners as well. Dan, thank you so much for coming to this interview and explaining the in-depth of the Phantasia project, just taking me through how to play the game. That was really interactive and exciting. And I wish you all the success with this. And I hope that we will reconnect sometime in the future.
Yeah, thanks for hosting me. I really appreciate it.
All righty. Have a good one.
Yep, thanks.